a serial killer responsible for 20 deaths, once again loose in the world. Released today on diminished responsibility caused by drugs. Crowds scream and wail, families cry for justice. Bring him back, bring my son back. And behind all of this stands the man who made it possible, lawyer Byeon Hogil. Byeon Hogil faces the press alone. The chairman he works for is unwell, so all questions fall on him. Reporters exploded him. Why defend that beast? What were you thinking? Byeon keeps a calm smile. As a lawyer, I cannot create false victims. Someone hurls an egg at his head. You devil. A devil who saves devils. He mutters under his breath, irritated. These people, honestly. Do you know what happens when you anger a lawyer? Byeon walks off as the crowd keeps screaming, accomplice, murderer. He reflects, even big firms refused this case. Too dirty, too dangerous. So why did he take it? Cut to the real client, the serial killer, laughing with Byeon in private. Those pig-brained idiots. A few fake tears and they all bought it. You worked hard, lawyer. Byeon flatters him. The chairman is as big-hearted as his belly. The killer leans in, curious. How did you block all that incriminating evidence? Byeon answers with a disturbing ease. There wasn't any. So I said there wasn't any. The killer burst into laughter, impressed. Quick-witted bastard. Work for me full-time. Byeon bows politely. Would I dare refuse? He leaves with a smile. For tonight, sleep well, legs stretched out. I'll visit again soon. Hogil blinks at him. Huh. Ji-hoo, what are you talking about? The screams were coming from the TV. I'm just a patient, the man on TV cries. Ji-hoo's face burns. Aha, so you were assaulting the TV. It's old. Only works if you smack it around. Hogil shrugs. He hands Ji-hoo a drink. You came a long way. Have a drink. Ji-hoo accepts awkwardly. Hogil grins. You're a VIP, Ji-hoo. I even put 2 sticks of Max Mix coffee in there. The chairman panics. How the hell did you get here? Our work is over. Byeon smiles. Didn't I say I'd visit again soon? I have a new request. A request? Our case is finished. Byeon adjusts his glasses. This time, the request did not come to the lawyer. The chairman instantly draws a blade. A dog eats dog food. If it tries human food, it gets torn apart. Chairman Park, former Yamatogami member. A 9th Dan swordsman. Byeon remains unshaken. In some circles, there's a saying. Handling blades well is third rate. Handling all weapons well is second rate. Park prepares to strike. What the hell are you? What are you planning? He suddenly remembers rumors about someone who could kill with octopus tentacles. Byeon continues, first rate uses everything in the world as a weapon. Park roars, fine, come on, second rate, let's see what's faster, my blade or your octopus. Byeon corrects him, I'm third rate. He pulls out a shotgun. The chairman freezes. Wait, hold on, that's cheating. Put that down. He tries to reason. You're a lawyer, not a killer. Byeon smiles faintly. I'm a lawyer, yes, and also a killer. To put it simply, a killer lawyer, something like that. If anyone wonders why he works both sides of life and death, the explanation starts elsewhere. In this country exists the Glory Club, a charity on paper, an assassination service behind the curtain. Hogil used to be one of their volunteers, a paid killer ranked by grade. A grade, B grade, C grade, D grade, and him, stuck at C grade, rank 16. Chased by hired thugs, Hogil wonders how long he's supposed to keep surviving like this. No matter how many years he devotes, he'll never reach B grade. A grade, he's never seen one, feels more like a myth than a rank. Lying on the ground with a knife in his shoulder, covered in blood, he realizes, maybe switching careers is better than dying for nothing. But the only skill he knows is killing. What job wants that? Sushi chef? Maybe not. Then he hears it. A loud ad blaring. You, the one who already thinks he'll fail. Become a lawyer. Hogil nearly scoffs, who still falls for lecture scams. But the words tug at something. And surprisingly, he finds out he's a genius at studying. He passes exams with ease. No bloodshed, no knives, just a pen, a jackpot. With the money saved from risking his life, he opens his own law office. He's ready to take all the money this country has to offer. But reality hits. 5 months pass with 0 clients. Loan interest piles up. He even browses grave plots out of boredom. Then, finally, a big fee case walks in. He straightens his tie, ready to act like lawyer Byeon. But the client is Joe Dushan, MZ-era gangster. A criminal with 18 counts, ranging from murder to fraud. Trash no lawyer wants to deal with. He sits casually, treating Hogil like an errand boy. But when he jokes about the lawyer running to him after payment, Hogil's eyes darken. Hogil stabs a pen straight through the thug's hand, grabbing him by the throat like the old days, reminding him he spent his whole life cutting throats like his. The gangster begs, coughs, apologizes, but reality snaps back. Hogil simply stands there, pretending to be timid. Dushan finally asks the real question. So do I get out? Absolutely not. The case is impossible. He hit a man with his car, dumped the body, and CCTV caught everything. The only hope is a settlement with the victim's family. Otherwise, nothing can be done. But Dushan doesn't care about reality. He paid for results and demands Hogil get the settlement. To Hogil, life is no different from knife work. He heads to the victim's home, nervous but determined. But when the victim's son, Jihu, hears why he's there, he shuts the door in his face. Leave. Hogil gets desperate. He tells Jihu the settlement is 10 billion won, a life-changing amount. But the boy asks the only question that matters. If someone killed your dad and dumped him in a river, would you sign it? Hogil can't answer. Before Hogil can respond, two thugs force their way into the house, loan sharks searching for Jihu's money. To Hogil, the scene is painfully familiar. He's lived through versions of this his whole life. He tries to slip out quietly, pretending not to know anything. The thugs mock him for looking like a killer. Outside, Hogil calls Dushan, pretending the negotiation failed. He waves for a taxi while Dushan curses him on the phone. Meanwhile, inside the house, Jihu grabs a knife with trembling hands, cornered by the thugs. The thugs tease him, daring him to stab them. One grabs Jihu by the hair, ready to teach him a lesson. Then, Hogil appears at the window, completely out of place. He politely asks for the settlement form he forgot. They try closing the window on him like he's a pest. Jihu swings the knife, slicing one thug's hand. The men explode in anger, beating him to the floor. They tell him no one's coming to help. But someone is already here. Hogil crashes through the window and kicks a thug straight into the floor. Citing the Korean Criminal Act mid-fight, he lists their crimes one by one. Home invasion, up to 3 years. One thug charges behind him with a knife. Hogil dodges, lands a gut punch, recites more penalties. The other grabs him, but Hogil uses the attacker's belt as a weapon, flipping him into the ground. Unlawful confinement, 5 years. He fights like a killer, talks like a lawyer. Another calm recitation of punishments. Hair ruined, suit dirty, Hogil sighs. 42 million won total fines. But instead of charging them, he settles for beating them unconscious. He hands the settlement form to Jihu. Give your father a proper farewell. I'll dump these guys outside and report them. Sir, Jihu calls. Hogil flinches. He hates being called Mr. You're not really a lawyer, right? He insists he is, but Jihu refuses to let him leave. He gives back the money. And with tears in his eyes, kill Joe Dushan. Please, kill the man who murdered my dad. Hogil raises a hand dismissively. Look, Jihu, I'm only here to get the settlement agreement. For something like that, go to the police. Hogil is already heading for the window he broke earlier. He starts climbing out, then freezes halfway. Wait, why am I going out this way? This is embarrassing. Just play it off. Walk back naturally. He strolls past Jihu with forced confidence. Oh dear, must have taken the wrong way. Happens in life. Double-layered entrance, you know? Hogil stops again, eyes widening. Double? Why didn't I think of that? He starts piecing things together. First, I get the settlement money from Jihu and finalize it. Then I defend Joe Dushan in court and collect attorney fees. Then I take a contract using the settlement money Jihu receives. And as a killer, I take out Joe Dushan. That would make twice the money. A double dip. Hogil turns dramatically toward Jihu. Dry your tears, my dear client. I, attorney Byeon Hogil, will make sure to take that bastard out cleanly. Scene shifts to Hogil's office, a place that looks more like a gangster den than anything legal. Jihu stands frozen. Is this the lawyer's office he mentioned? Isn't this just a den of criminals? A tower of despair, something like that. But he shakes it off. No, I came all this way. Think about Dad. Hogil is not actually going to kill anyone, right? As Jihu approaches the office door, disturbing screams echo inside. A rough voice shouts, "Trash like this only wakes up when you beat sense into them. Spare me," someone pleads. Jihu panics. I misjudged this guy. He's a total thug, a criminal. He bursts in, shouting, "Stop the violence. I'm calling the police, so don't try anything." Hogil blinks at him. Huh, Jihu, what are you talking about? The screams were coming from the TV. I'm just a patient, the man on TV cries. Jihu's face burns. Aha, so you were assaulting the TV. It's old. Only works if you smack it around. Hogil shrugs. He hands Jihu a drink. You came a long way. Have a drink. Jihu accepts awkwardly. Hogil grins. You're a VIP, Jihu. I even put 2 sticks of Max Mix coffee in there. 2 sticks, this is VIP treatment here. But mister, aren't the drinks usually switched for guests? Nah, that one's bitter. Bad for your health. A student like you needs something sweet. Hogil turns off the lights abruptly. If we're going to kill Joe Dushan, first we have to get him released. But there's a huge problem. What problem? As you know, his crimes are too obvious. The details are all recorded, like he did it on purpose. He has zero chance of walking free. Hogil continues. But your big bro here has a way. Ji-hoo stares. Please step back first, mister. Aren't you curious? A way to flip an impossible situation. Wait, do you actually have a way or not? Ji-hoo, Hogil smirks. I'm attorney Byeon Hogil. Does that answer your question? He already did much background research, Ji-hoo thinks. I misjudged you, mister. Let's go bust him out right now. Heh, calm down. Inside, Hogil is screaming. There's no way I can actually get him out. Even with a settlement, the criminal charges stay. Drunk driving, hit and run, dumping the body, all caught on CCTV. Not even the president could save him. My double retainer plan ruined from step one. Ji-hoo interrupts. But in movies, they sneak in and tamper with evidence. Do you do that too? That's just movies. I'm a lawyer, not some agents, huh? What's wrong, mister? Hogil's eyes shine. Ji-hoo, you're a genius. Cut to the courtroom. It's insufficient evidence, someone roars. What bullshit is that? Anyone can see he's the culprit. The public erupts while Jo Do-chin bows smugly. Everyone, I've done nothing wrong. The judge says I'm innocent. You said there was perfect evidence. Hogil watches silently. In court, evidence has terrifying power. But flip it around, and if there's no evidence, you're golden, no matter what you did. With my killer skills and my sexy legal knowledge, falsifying and destroying evidence is a piece of cake. Attorney Byeon Hogil, he turns. Oh, yes, Prosecutor Han Jung-gi. An elite prosecutor stands before him, freshly back from the States, radiating justice and irritation. Mr. Byeon, Han says sternly, I don't know what tricks you pulled, but don't forget, you too may stand before the law one day. Of course, at your service, sir. Ji-hoo rushes in afterward. Mister, I heard the news. When are we doing it? It's time to kill Jo Do-chin now, right? Hurry. Ji-hoo, I get it, but give me some space first. Before that, Ji-hoo, do you like twist-ending movies? I watch them sometimes. Why? Hogil pulls out a CCTV file. Isn't this the footage you erased? I don't want to see this. My dad. No, you have to. After showing it, did you see it? Yeah, but nothing happened? The thing about cars is, they have springs under the chassis. Huh? Look at the writing on that sign. Ji-hoo squints. The letters changed? Exactly, because the car's height changed, which means there was a third person's inside. Hogil points to the footage. Right after the accident, Jo Do-chin and that third person switched seats. In other words, the one who killed your father might not have been Jo Do-chin. Of course, it's just a theory. We need proof. Ji-hoo panics. If we bust Jo Do-chin out and kill him, it'll all be for nothing. Hogil smirks. What are you worried about? You hired a killer lawyer. He searches a bookshelf, muttering. Where is it? Somewhere between Go Gambling and Cold Night. Suddenly, the shelf splits open, revealing a glowing secret room. I'm such a mess. I'll make this money no matter what. Behind the shelf lies Hogil's weapon storage. Still lame as ever, he mutters. Earlier, he had told Ji-hoo, Jo Do-chin is what you call an MZ gangster. A cell-based crew scattered everywhere. If we want the real culprit, we need to hit them all at once. You didn't draw that map yourself, did you? Don't sweat the small stuff. I'm charging in when all of them gather. What? No way. That's too dangerous. Don't worry, Ji-hoo. Cut to Hogil putting on a driving helmet in his armory. I've been doing this for over a dozen years. Sometimes like air, other times like water. Perfect disguises are my specialty. Cut to Do-chin's hideout, full of gangsters. They cheer and praise him for escaping a life sentence. Do-chin laughs loudly. Insufficient evidence. I'm innocent. They also tease the bruised investor he scammed, calling him VIP. Very idiot person. Do-chin continues mocking the man who lost his life savings. If you come back again, we have photos of your family. Your sister's so damn pretty. Boss, you've got a visitor. A visitor? Who? They reveal a confused delivery guy, who is actually Hogil in disguise. I've done this work for decades, but why'd they pick a Chinese restaurant of all places? Delivery here, gang members approach him. Delivering jjangmyeon to a Chinese restaurant, hand it over. Don't. Hogil blurts. This doesn't feel like food. Take his helmet off. Shit. What do I do? There's way more of them than I expected. Why are they all here? They're supposed to be a cell-based gang. He slams the thug's face and accidentally knocks his own helmet off. The whole room erupts. Dozens rush him. He doesn't hesitate, kicking, throwing, slamming people to the floor. And I came in perfect disguise, he complains. You ruined everything, Jo Do-chin. You're that lawyer Hung. What are you doing here? How did you even get in? Hogil steps through the fallen gangsters. This punk keeps talking down to an adult. I'll beat you to the brink of death. And I'll still walk away innocent. What bullshit is that? Duchan shouts. Hogil smiles. What do you mean what? It's the thing you love so much. He lifts a finger. This case is going to end as insufficient evidence. Duchan's men mock Hogil, complaining that lawyers can't count and acting like they already won. They surround him, 9 gangsters against 1 skinny anchovy. Even Hogil admits it's an unfair fight for him, but they have no idea what kind of hellish training he survived to beat their asses. A flashback hits, Hogil pounding on a steel door, screaming for help inside the Glory Club's tear gas training room. This wasn't normal gas. It was military-grade poison that burned his throat daily like explosions going off inside him. And yet, every day, he survived. Every day, he came out alive. He curses the Glory Club, but that brutality made him what he is. Back in the present, one of Duchan's men realizes Hogil is pulling something out. The gang assumes it's a weapon and rush to grab their tools. Hogil simply smiles at them and recalls the one thought he had during tear gas torture. Please, just once, let me try it too. He lobs a flashbang high above the group. The room erupts in screams. Blinding white light. Total chaos. Duchan's men stagger around, clawing at their eyes, cursing, bumping into each other like they're dancing in a drunken nightmare. Hogil dances with them in the center. Hogil mocks them for calling him a coward. Duchan, furious, orders the 9 men to kill him. He warns Hogil that following the law would have kept him alive. But as the gang charges in, even Duchan hesitates. Something feels wrong. 2 of the thugs rush Hogil, one barehanded, one swinging a vase. Hogil knocks them down instantly while reciting legal penalties like a lecture. Another thug grabs him from behind while a third charges to stab him, but he ducks, causing the thug who grabs him to get hit. Hogil plants his hands on the floor and spins his legs like a breakdancer, sweeping down anyone foolish enough to come close. He calmly states another law. Extortion through threats, up to 20 million won, and 10 years in prison. Duchan watches from afar as dread crawls up his spine. 20 years as a thug taught him one skill, identifying predators. And every hair on his body screams the truth, Hogil is dangerous. When the fighting ends, Hogil confronts Duchan, stretching stiffly like a man who studied too long. Duchan instantly obeys every word, even sitting on the floor when he's told. Hogil demands answers. Duchan tries to please him, even offering his girlfriend's house password, but Hogil doesn't buy a thing. Then he reveals his honest friend, Duchan's phone. Using the wallpaper of a pretty girl as an excuse, Hogil starts browsing Duchan's gallery and messages. Between the disgusting photos and private chats, one thing stands out, a stock reading room, group chat promising 500% profits. Hogil mutters that idiots like this are always running scams. Then he finds a message. A familiar face. Crystal. Hogil freezes. Things just got interesting. Ji-hoo arrives, cheerful as ever, offering fancy coffee. But Hogil is in no mood. He tells her to listen carefully. This is serious. He explains the organizational chart of Duchan's group. Poorly drawn, embarrassingly so. Ji-hoo roasts it instantly, asking if a kindergarten kid made it. Hogil turns red and crumples it. Hogil explains, stock reading rooms lure people in with guaranteed profits. Members throw in their money, hoping to get rich, and then the room vanishes, leaving families ruined. The one who ruined Ji-hoo's father? Probably tied to this very chat room. But catching the mastermind is hard. Overseas accounts, virtual identities, impossible to trace, unless you find the fisherman who lured the victims in, and Hogil has already found him. He shows Ji-hoo a picture, a girl he recognizes. Crystal, a huge internet streamer. Ji-hoo is shocked, but Hogil insists Crystal is the decoy. He doubts him. Crystal is famously mysterious, nicknamed the Ghost. No real name, no address, no classmates, no history, nothing. How did you even figure this out? He asks. Hogil only says, because this is exactly what he specializes in. And he's already found the key to meeting her. Ji-hoo stares at the livestream Hogil pulls up. He doesn't understand how this could lead them to Crystal in person. But Hogil smiles. He's already worked out the path. This woman, a ghost to the internet, has finally been cornered. He, Byeon Hogil, has found a way to meet her. Han Youngwae's office erupts in frustration. He slams the table, furious that every piece of evidence has vanished into thin air. His subordinates scramble with apologies, but that only angers him more. He orders them to retrieve everything related to Joe Duchan immediately. Rumors spread across the room. Han Youngwae, the lawyer killer, undefeated, feared by every attorney he's ever faced, has finally lost. And to a Frugrukis, Jungwae tries to calm himself, but the silence only sharpens his thoughts. Evidence erased, records gone. There's only one person bold enough to pull this off, Byeon Hogil. Who is he really? Jungwae dials a contact, demanding a full investigation. Meanwhile, the story jumps to a very different scene. Hogil and Ji-hoo casually watching a stream of Crystal. the internet's sexy cute goddess. Crystal says she wants a sincere man who treats her like a princess. Crystal wonders if someone like that might ever show up for her. Ji-hoo immediately mocks Hogil's expression. Ji-hoo explains Crystal's meteoric rise, the nickname that made her explode online. Hogil's imagination goes wild with words like sexy and goddess, earning him another glare. Crystal is beautiful, famous, and apparently on another level entirely. Ji-hoo reveals the strangest part. Crystal doesn't stream for money, not even a little. Every donation, fully given away. Hogil nearly chokes at the idea. Then comes the twist. A rumor that she's actually a third-generation keyball streaming secretly as a hobby. If true, she doesn't need ads, sponsors, or donations at all. But that makes another mystery even stranger. Why would someone insanely rich get tangled up with criminals like Jo Duchan? Hogil's face lights up with determination. They need to meet her. Right now. Ji-hoo immediately asks, how? She hides everything. Her name, job, hometown, even where she lives. Hogil smirks like a man about to reveal forbidden knowledge. Hogil sits at his computer with unexpected seriousness. He mutters to himself, resets his search, tries again. Ji-hoo watches in disbelief. He actually looks competent. He remembers a method from detective shows, using the sun, the shadows, nearby buildings to find a location. Maybe he underestimated him. Hours later, Hogil suddenly shouts triumphantly. Ji-hoo jolts awake from his nap, yelling about Sunday soup. He excitedly asks if he tracked Crystal by audio, by camera angles, by environmental clues. Hogil proudly announces his method, then hands him a one-day date coupon he won online. He blew his entire 5 million won savings to win it. Ji-hoo beats him half to death. Hogil complains about his scalp while Ji-hoo grudgingly admits, stupid as it was, at least it gives them a way to meet Crystal. But then he raises the real issue. The moment Crystal senses thereafter, Jo Duchan, she'll disappear. Hogil confidently says he has a revolutionary plan to avoid suspicion. Before he can explain, the scene cut to someone spots a beautiful woman waiting in the garden. Crystal. In real life. Even more stunning than on camera. Crystal waits elegantly, possibly for a boyfriend. The people imagine some rich foreign prince. But the man who approaches her is Hogil. He introduces himself by his online username, speaking in a deep, refined voice that catches Crystal off guard. He offers his arm like a knight from a different century. Ji-hoo, watching from afar, dies inside from secondhand embarrassment. Crystal maintains a polite wall the entire time, giving him nothing but cordial distance. At a restaurant, Hogil executes How to Win a Woman's Heart. Chapter 1, Manly Appeal. He dramatically offers to cut her steak into delicate bite-sized pieces suitable for her cherry-like lips. Crystal awkwardly thanks him. Ji-hoo, spying from afar, stares at her tartare and wonders what kind of circus he's watching. Ji-hoo concludes that Hogil isn't investigating. He's just fully enjoying himself. Later, in the garden, Hogil and Crystal exchange farewells like characters in an old romance novel. Crystal thanks him politely, bows gracefully, and leaves. Hogil is floating. Back at the office, Ji-hoo mocks him for drooling and wasting 5 million won, demanding to know what information they even gained. Hogil replies with a single bombshell. Crystal is living on the streets. He reveals an address, and Ji-hoo freezes. Ji-hoo demands to know when he figured it out. Hogil explains, first clue, Crystal said it took 1 hour by car. Second, her cup, from a regional coffee chain, not in Seoul. Third, the melted ice and timing proved her travel time was real. But the final clue, Crystal carried a faint, unpleasant odor beneath her perfume. The smell produced near dyeing factories. A dyeing factory roughly an hour from their date location, near a Paran coffee shop. All signs pointed to a single area. He marked it on the map. Ji-hoo is stunned. Maybe all that drool really was deep concentration. Ji-hoo wants to storm the factory immediately. Hogil stops him. Secret organizations erase evidence the moment they spot danger. If they rush in, everything vanishes. To find the real culprit, Hogil needs to infiltrate, somehow, without alerting anyone. Ji-hoo suggests an absurd idea. Hogil misunderstands, thinking he's telling him to go to the bathroom again. He leans in and whispers the real plan. Hogil collapses to the floor, horrified by what he just proposed. He screams, refuses, shakes his head violently. Whatever Ji-hoo whispered, it's something so insane that even Byeon Hogil refuses to do it.